What your personality is has become you. You're completely identified with it. The mask has gotten stuck to your face now. You can't take away the mask.
It's a prison that you build and get stuck to it. If somebody imprisons you, that is unfortunate but understandable. But if you imprison yourself, it cannot be anything more stupid than that. But that's what is happening to 90% of the humanity most of the time.
It is just that the whole construction of the personality has happened in unawareness. That's why you're stuck with one personality. If this mask has to come off, we need something to loosen the glue. In this simple process of self-preservation, there is a simple basic process which is built into every cell in our body. Every worm, insect, animal has this. We also have it. This simple process of self-preservation, we don't know where to contain it. It has just spread itself into everything. Because it spread itself into everything, you have to create a small person of yourself who will defend himself all the time. As we've been looking at in the programs, the only thing that needs preservation is your physical body. Your personality, we must maul it every day. It should be okay, isn't it? If every day if you can make mincemeat out of your personality, you could create another one tomorrow morning, isn't it? Isn't it so? We've been trying to do that gently because if I go very hard at it, you'll run away. Gently, step by step, we're trying to make mincemeat out of your personality so that it becomes a flexible aspect. You cannot live without a personality. You need one to exist here, to go about in the world, do your work, manage things. But if it's a flexible thing, that in different places, as it is necessary for the situation, you can put on the right kind of personality, then it would be fine. But right now, it is like a rock, it sits on you all the time. Anything that doesn't fit into its ambit, it makes you suffer, isn't it? Who drew this caricature that you call as myself? Definitely yourself, but influenced by so many people around you. You're 15, 16, you go and watch a Amitabh Bachchan movie, you come home and try to walk like him unconsciously. Yes, isn't it? Sometimes maybe consciously, but most of the time unconsciously, isn't it? So, this caricature came into existence because of all kinds of bits and pieces that are gathered. It happened when we were in school. There was a boy who was studying with me who had an excellent hand, he could just sketch anybody with whatever kind of distortion he wanted. So, there was one very hated geography teacher. And when he entered the class, this boy had a horrible caricature of him ready on the blackboard. Badly distorted, but everybody can clearly recognize who it is. With all kinds of very bad distortions on him. Then he walked in and as usual he walks into the class always with a temper. Whether he's talking about the grasslands in America or he talks about the deserts in Africa, he's always in bad temper. The moment he saw, he just… one thing he was angry, another thing he was somehow hit by the whole thing, the distortions. Then he asked, who is responsible for this terrible atrocity? As usual, everybody will suddenly interested in geography, very studious and then he repeated again, who is responsible for this atrocity? He thinks it's an atrocity. We thought it was an appropriate thing. Then somebody made up their mind and stood up and said, we really don't know, but it should be his parents. So, for this atrocity that you call as myself, it's not your parents. This is you. Only you can commit this atrocity of distorting yourself into such a tiny possibility when an unbounded possibility was what you were offered. With life, you were offered an unbounded possibility. You made such a bad distortion and made yourself into such a tiny possibility. If you stop creating this caricature, because this caricature cannot exist one day without your support, you need to support it all the time. What meditation means, in one way, you're just withdrawing the support for your personality, that's all. Suddenly it collapses. Only the presence is there, the person is no more there. If you could walk on the street like this, if you could operate with people like this all the time, that you have no personality, but looking at this person at this moment, how she is, accordingly you put up a personality, as it is necessary for this person. Now you go to that person, you put up a personality that is necessary for that person, then it would be so much fun drawing new caricatures every day. But once you get stuck to a particular distortion, that becomes a problem. Every day if you have a new distortion, it's called art, isn't it? If you're stuck with one distortion, then you're called a freak, isn't it? Isn't it so? Every day if you're able to create a new distortion, that is artwork, isn't it? If you're stuck with one distortion, you're a cripple. So that's the big difference.
Sadhguru, when you're talking about personality, we have to have different personalities as a parent, as a husband, and at work. In normal living, it becomes very difficult to change the personality.
You mean to say people around you won't let you change it? Not true. See, right now, let's say you're going to your work we'll take the work situation because it's less personal for you. You're going to work with a certain attitude and a certain person is going to work, which is you right now. Let's say he goes briskly like this every day, good morning, good morning, good morning. Don't mean a good morning to anybody. The way people say good morning, it's very clear they intend to give you a bad morning. So, suppose you are going like this. Tomorrow morning, if you go, really say good morning to people and smile at them and maybe hold their hand and ask some personal question, talk to them and go in, maybe you'll waste 5–10 minutes going into your office. But if people around you are happy, you'll have a lot of extra time on your hands because they'll run around and do things better, isn't it? If you have people who are sitting there with a grouse, then they will make your life miserable in so many ways, not one way. You have to live with them, but these people have a grouse against you, they are going to make your life so bad, isn't it? Now, can I change my personality every day? Won't it confuse people? Not at all, they would enjoy you most. Isn't it so? And will it bring down your efficiency of work? Definitely not. It is not because of the compulsion of the situation you've gotten stuck with one personality. It is just that the whole construction of the personality has happened in unawareness, that's why you're stuck with one personality. Now you said, we have one kind of personality at home, another with children, another with work and outside. If you look at it, it may not be true. You may be functioning in different capacities. The requirement of how you function may be different, but still the basic personality may be same everywhere. The underlying personality is still the same. You can change that also and it'll be so much fun for you to change that. It'll be absolute fun for you to change that because you can experience a whole new person all the time. After all, it's your creation. So why should it be limited to just one way? If God had fixed a personality for you, that's all there is. But when you have built it, like you change your clothes every day in different ways, isn't it? But most people cannot even change that, isn't it? They've gotten used to a certain thing and that's all it is, isn't it so? I think we should have done something today. Everybody should dress in a completely different way and come. Not your usual kind of clothes. You're wearing pants all the time, today you wear a saree and come. Just loosen yourself up a little bit, it's important. The reason why what is the very essence of life is missing in people's life is because they become stiff. And spiritual people are stiffer than anybody else. Isn't it? They're so stiff. Still doesn't answer your question.
There can be changes in the behavior, but your personality remains the same.
It remains the same. That's what I'm saying. You're stuck to one personality. It's just the actions are different because the situations are different. But the person is same, isn't it? So the person is same because what your personality is has become you. You're completely identified with it. There is no distinction between you and your personality, isn't it? You have become that. The mask has gotten stuck to your face now. You can't take away the mask. If this mask has to come off, we need something to loosen the glue which has gotten stuck to this. It is identity. So now we are creating various situations where your identity dissolves in a certain way. Meditation or any kind of yoga practice, whatever is, just to loosen the identities so that there's a little more flexibility about it. Maybe the whole of it has not come off, but at least you can adjust it a little bit. So mask being totally stuck, at least little you are able to take a breather. That much break it is giving you. But if you work a little more with this, you can take it and keep it off. Now, people, when they come to advanced programs, 3 days or 7 days they're in samyama or bhavspandana, the person that you are, you'll just simply forget who you are. You don't know who you are. It'll become like that because the situation created is so intense and so different. Everything that you know as normal is broken. After some time, you don't know who is here. After the program is over and you come back, you just wonder, is it me who went through all that? Most people can't believe that they actually went through samyama and came. Simply because it's created like that, the whole situation. Not only the meditation process, the situation also is created in such a way that it doesn't assist your personality in any way. The whole thing is to take off all the supports, because your personality cannot exist for a moment without your support. If you involve yourself in any intense activity, it could loosen up a little bit. But that is haphazard. For example, let's say you go and play a game. Those moments of total involvement, you may lose your personality. But that is a haphazard way of attempting it. Now we are looking at how to approach it scientifically, how to dismantle all the scaffolding that is holding it up. If you have noticed this, people who are very committed and enjoying the process of working, they always have more flexible personalities than people who are working towards a goal. Is it so? Have you noticed this? Because just the involvement with the work, total involvement, those moments the personality becomes little loose. But people who are working towards a goal, that they want this to happen, those people have strong personalities always. The fundamental basis for your personality, the building blocks for your personality is likes and dislikes. I like this, I don't like this. A complex system of likes and dislikes is what your personality is, isn't it? See, what's the difference between you and the next person? Your likes and dislikes are different, isn't it? Now, the basis of yoga is just this, to help you beyond these likes and dislikes. Whether we're talking responsibility or inevitability or whatever else we're talking, fundamentally it is to destroy the process of like and dislike. See, existing in the world with likes and dislikes is a very foolish way to exist. But unfortunately, the logical mind thinks, I'll do what I like, this is my freedom. The very basis of your bondage is in your likes and dislikes, but your mind makes you believe doing what you like is your freedom. Isn't it? All the time, everywhere in the world, people believe doing what I like is freedom. Please look at it carefully. The very fundamental basis of your bondage is in like and dislike. To operate sensibly here, even in the physical realm I'm saying, even to operate with your work or family, whatever, likes and dislikes make you do stupid things. I like this person, I don't like this person. Now, I cannot function from what is needed in this moment, isn't it? Isn't it so? Now, I don't like this person. Even if this person is doing something wonderful, I cannot see it anymore. Do you see this happening to yourself? I like this person. Even if they're doing terrible things, I cannot see it anymore. Isn't it so? Because the moment you get trapped in this like and dislike, you have no discretion. You lost your discretion. Your intelligence is forsaken. Your awareness is simply impossible once you get trapped in likes and dislikes. The moment you say, I like this, getting identified with it is very normal. It's a natural process. You don't have to say, I'm going to identify with this light bulb. If you just say, I like this light bulb, you get identified with it. The process will just happen. See, life is set up in such a way for you so that life happens automatically. You just have to sit here and enjoy the bounty of life. But now the problem is, we are setting this forth in a wrong direction, so it is creating suffering. Suppose if it was all in your hands, you have to like it, you have to get involved with it, everything is yours. It would be a terrible effort to live, isn't it? Now it's all set up well, the whole software is so well set up. If you just say, I like this, getting involved in it, dreaming about it, this, that, everything just happens by itself, isn't it? Everything that is necessary to take you in that direction just happens, isn't it so? So, this is just life assisting you, but it has no discretion. If you like hell, it'll take you to hell. It happened once. What do you call a person who hires people in a corporation or whatever? HR? Okay. The HR director in a corporation died and went to heaven. There, Saint Peter said, see, because you are the first HR person to come to heaven, we will give you a choice. If you want, you can stay in heaven because you got the passport. But before you go to heaven, if you want, you can have a view of hell. If you wish to stay there, you can also stay there. This is a lady HR person, she said, no, why would I want to go to hell? I want to go to heaven. He said, why wouldn't you want to have a look at it? I said, okay. She got in the elevator, went ding down. Then the elevator doors opened and it opened into a beautiful garden. On the poolside, very beautiful people are swimming, sunbathing, and there's a wonderful golf course and then a nice clubhouse, the works. She said, oh, this is great hell. She had a view of that and then Saint Peter said, okay, you have a view of heaven, then you choose. Then she got in the elevator, it went up. Supposed to be down and up, okay? That's a direction, at least you better know. Now we are down. So, there they opened the doors and then she saw lots of clouds, people just floating in the clouds, playing harp and She said, okay, this is also fine, but I think I'll go to hell. All my friends are there, this golf, I'll go. So they put her in the elevator, she just went down and again the doors opened. It was a harsh desert. Everybody all dried up without food, in terrible condition, everything. She said, what is this? Last time when I came, there was a garden, there was a pool, there was a golf course. What happened? So they said, that was just the first day, Now you're staff. That was the interview. Now you're staff. All your life you did this to people, so this is your choice. Your personality. I don't know, if you're working in places, at least if you're HR, is there anybody HR? Oh. Especially if you're HR, maybe, you also. You're supposed to size up a person, Somebody new walks into your office, you're supposed to size them up, where they will fit into this whole machine of an organization. So, if you're willing to look, people's personalities are always hanging out, They need not say anything, they need not do anything. If you just look at them properly, the very way they stand, sit, you don't need any great yogic intuition. Simply a simple observation of a person, the very way they stand, the way they hold their hands, the way they smile, the way they do things, their personality is just hanging out of them. So it's so obvious to everybody except to yourself, That's the whole thing.
See, what the word personality comes from a root word called persona. Persona means a mask that you wear. To perform a certain kind of function, you have to wear a certain mask. Now you are a sports person. When you are on the court, you have one kind of mask that is needed. That mask must be aggressive, bringing fear in your opponent if necessary, whatever. You need to wear that kind of a mask. You don't wear that mask at home. You don't wear that mask with your friend. Because this mask means you must be able to wear by choice and take it off. That is what personality means. To perform different types of activities, we need to structure ourselves in a certain way. But what happens over a period of time, By the time people are 30, 35, they've gotten stuck with one mask. They're not able to take it off. Everywhere they are the same way. Now it'll become a painful experience. If you see between a child, anybody, whatever their age today, when they were 5, 6 years of age, if you see their faces were all like this, one big smile, grinning, you can't stop them from grinning. But slowly it becomes so grave and long, simply because they are stuck with their own personality. One mask they wore and they can't remove it, all the time it's stuck. So we don't have to crystallize our personality. It's very important we keep our personality so flexible. To perform different types of activities, we should be able to put on different kind of masks. Without a mask, you cannot work. Without a personality, you cannot function in the world, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But you don't have to be stuck with one persona. You can be a different person as the situation demands, you can be that kind of a person. That is when you will find full expression to yourself, otherwise you will get stuck within a structure that you created. It's a prison that you build and get stuck to it. If somebody imprisons you, that is unfortunate but understandable. But if you imprison yourself, it cannot be anything more stupid than that. But that's what is happening to 90% of the humanity most of the time. If you wear a mask to perform a certain function, you are still who you are within the mask. But right now the problem is the mask sits so tight on your face, you cannot distinguish which is the mask and which is me. So when I say a mask or a persona, what it means is you consciously wear. When you consciously wear it, it is there. It is there for the function, but you don't become that. See, when I say you don't become that, right now, you're a tall girl. I saw on any podium you stand, you're like taller than anybody. So you were not born like this, you were born just this much and now you became this much. This is just accumulation, body is just an accumulation. Similarly, what you call as my mind, my thought, my emotion are accumulations. What we gather belongs to us, cannot be us, isn't it?
Yes.
It is not us. Right now this clothing, it may belong to me, but it can't be me. Similarly the body, similarly the structures of the mind. If we become conscious of this, what is me and what is not me, if this one thing everybody settles within themselves, if they are conscious of this, all these are not an issue. We will use this body, we will use this mind to the best of its capabilities and that's all. Especially for you as a sports person, using your body and mind to the best of its capabilities, all that matters in the end. So right now, you yourself would have noticed, as every human being would have noticed in their day-to-day activity, because you're a sports person, I'm saying for you, because the consequence of you not functioning at your best is immediately right there. For others, if they don't do something well today, it may take 2 years before the results come to them. For you, it is immediate. There's a bad shot right there if you don't function well at that moment. So because of that, it is far more easier for you to notice this, that how many times in your life, your own thought, your own emotion, your own ideas and opinions become a barrier to your function. So, in the world, there are many challenges. Right now we are in a very challenging time, all right? But you yourself, your own faculties, your own thought, your own emotion, your own functioning of your body should not become an impediment in your life. That is the most important thing every human being should do. What the world will allow us to do or not, we don't know. It depends on the times we are in. See, today, because you're in 21st century, you're wielding a racket, but probably if you were here 1,000 years ago, you would be wielding a sword or something else, you know. I'm saying it is the times which is allowing us to do what we are doing. So, at this time, as there are possibilities, there are challenges. In this, if an individual human being, is here, without making our body, our thought, our emotion, our energies be a challenge by itself, if you just remove this one challenge, in your life you will perform to your best. Your best will be the best in the world, we don't know. That is subject to various realities. But the important thing is whether I am the best in the world or not is not important. To your best, you're always on. You are never a barrier to yourself. Other barriers in the world we will have to cross.